Tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visitors from Delaware State. Batting first and playing center field, number 4, Hassan Turner. Batting second, playing second, number 7, Carter Boyd. Batting third and playing third base, number 25, Jeremy Samuel. Batting fourth and playing left field, number 16, Alex Rodriguez. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 31, Justin Bass. Batting sixth, the first base number 9, Brandon Timmons. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 8, Jalen G. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 39, Cameron Cook. Rounding out the 9 for Delaware State, the shortstop, number 28, Gavin Hudson. And on the mound for the Hornets, the right-hander, number 21, Nathan Bidmar. And now, the starting lineup for your Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 29, Eric Almonte. Batting second, the left fielder, number 1, Darryl Lee. Batting third, the second baseman, number 2, Peter Boyeno. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 33, Jorge Rodriguez. Batting fifth at third base, number 10, Michael Lucena. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 44, Jose Fernandez. Batting seventh in right field, number 5, Michael Rodriguez. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 19, Sergio Rivera. Rounding out the 9 for the Cookman, the designated hitter, number 28, Ruben Sweeney. And on the mound for the Wildcats, the right-hander, number 23, Michael Benedict.
Well, live from Well, live from not more gymnasium, Jackie Robinson Ballpark. Oh boy, this is a great start to game number 2.
No, this is the best start.
It's time for the 4th and final game of this 4-game series between the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats and the Delaware State Hornets. The Wildcats took a very wacky game number 1, 14-8. Delaware State had the most of the opening exchanges. The Wildcats came out, did most of their scoring in the 5th and 6th to pull away. Couldn't get the run rule, but eventually officially took the series 3-0, and now look for the sweep with Michael Benedict on the mound and hopefully a little bit calmer of a game 4. But as you know, Jade, nothing is ever given in baseball.
Absolutely not, and that game was a fight from the beginning to the end. Yes, the Wildcats pulled away pretty decisively, but Delaware State, like you mentioned, they had a lot of the opportunities and the runs in the first half of the game. They capitalized on one another, and for Michael Benedict on the mound tonight, it's really about getting that first batter out. In the last game earlier, I think it was 7 times.
7 of 9.
Yes, 7 of the 9 innings that Delaware State was hitting, they got their leadoff man on, and that's huge for an offense to work behind. And so the starting pitcher, Michael Benedict, today really needs to get that first out.
Michael Benedict makes his 2nd appearance of the season. The junior transfer from Eastern Florida State College. Correction, his 3rd appearance. He got the start both against FIU and South Florida. 3 1/3 against FIU. Gave up 4 runs on 4 hits, all earned. Walked 3, struck out 2. 2 innings against USF. Allowed no runs on 3 hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts. His ERA early on in this season is 6.75, and a chance to impress on a weekend start for Michael Benedict, who has been the midweeker for the early part of this season. The Wildcat lineup much the same as it was in game number 1. Benedict deals the first pitch inside to Hassan Turner. The Delaware State lineup, about 5 or 6 changes for the Hornets, including the first batter to face Benedict, Hassan Turner, the center fielder. There's a strike. Turner before this series batting 167, 18 at-bats, no runs, 3 hits, 1 RBI. Benedict deals. Tap back to the screen, and it's 2-2. Wildcats have changed from the powder blues to the all whites with the maroon caps and helmets. Delaware State maintains their red caps, black jerseys, black pants, light blue numbers with a white trim.
Have we seen these jerseys from the Wildcats this season?
They have been the midweek jerseys. There's strike 3. Hassan Turner looks at a breaking ball away, and there's 1 away in the inning. Nice start for Benedict, only his 3rd strikeout of the season.
Now batting second baseman, number 7.
Carter Boyd bats now. He's been bumped up from the 3 spot to the 2 here in this second game. Watches the ball low. Boyd scored twice in the first game, had 1 single on a bunt. Other than that, grounded out twice. And the count is 1-1. Fourth of a 4-game series, Jade. How important is it for the Wildcats, A, for Michael Benedict to go long in this game and save the back end of the bullpen, and B, for the Wildcats on offense, how important is it to start those bullpen wheels turning early for Delaware State?
Well, for the Wildcats, it's interesting because they played 2 games today, so they need to make sure that he can go long because of just the depth in the bullpen, like you mentioned, and their normal Sunday starter with this 1 game, Tanner Bocabello, who we saw in the first game. Now we're kind of shifting into the midweek starters, so when you have Miami coming up this week, it's a question mark of who's going to start in that game. If he goes long, it gives him the ability.
Swing and a miss. 2 straight strikeouts for Benedict, and there's 2 down.
It gives them the ability to kind of have their pick of whoever they want as the starter. And then for the Wildcats at the plate, can they just get runs early and often? Can they bat through the order multiple times like they started doing on Friday before the game was canceled, like they did last game? Can they just keep that momentum going, stack runs, and then we get out of here in the 7th without any frostbite on ours?
As Jade mentioned, it is cold, dropping into the lower 60s with wind, whipping in off the river from center field as it has pretty constantly wind, but between 15 and 20 miles an hour, pretty constantly, although it has died down in between games. There's a fastball, strike 2, Jaron Simple. Sample had the home run in the 9th inning to put the 8th run on the board for Delaware State. Michael Benedict from Fort Pierce, Florida. 17 appearances, 6 starts last year for Eastern Florida State College. That one a strike. He had 4-0 with a 3.19 ERA in 48 innings, 43 strikeouts to just 17 walks. Fouled away, and Sample stays alive. Interesting decision from Delaware State head coach Pedro Swan, as that one's low and away, to take Rosnell Lewis out of the lineup for game 2. Lewis was 5 for 6 in game number 1.
That is interesting.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts for Michael Benedict. And the Hornets go quietly in the first. We go to the bottom of the inning. Wildcats coming to bat here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. We go to the bottom of the first here at the Jack. In the second of our doubleheader, Eric Almonte will lead things off for Bethune-Cookman. The Wildcats will face the Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania native, Nathan Vidmar, a righty. As that one is outside and low, Almonte squared to bunt, pulled it back. Now in his 4th season, all with the Hornets. Vidmar misses outside. Vidmar last year started 12 games, was 2-8 with a .234 whip, struck out 55 batters in 57 and 2/3 innings, was first on the team in strikeouts and innings pitched. Vidmar comes inside, doesn't quite catch Almonte, who walks out of the batter's box. This is his 2nd start of the season for Vidmar. Went 2 innings against VMI all the way back on opening night. Allowed 6 runs, 6 hits, all earned. Walking 4 and striking out 1 as Almonte goes to first, and what may be an omen of things to come for Delaware State pitching. That'll bring up Darrell Lee, who had a very productive day in the first game. Could have been more productive as he had a very controversial inside the park home run overturned to a ground rule double as the ball stuck under the fence down the right field line.
I got clarification on that play. I asked head coach Johnny Hernandez if that one was really inside too. Almost hit him there as well. So what happened on that play, the ball hit under the fence, yes. The right fielder is supposed to call time and leave it time. As soon as he picks up that baseball, throws it in,
it's a live ball.
It's a live ball. And so head coach Johnny Hernandez respectfully told the umpires to have a go look at the playbook.
I'm not
in the rule book.
I'm not so sure it was respectful, but we'll leave that to them.
I added that respectful part in. He said it otherwise. But yeah, so I mean, the right fielder did not call time and hold time. He kind of waved his hands and then went and picked up the ball, played it. That is a live baseball. So
we're already getting a quick meeting on the mound. It's been a struggle for Nathan Vidmar here early in this one. Walked Eric Almonte, now behind 2-0 to Darrell Lee. Night has descended upon Daytona Beach. Official start time 7:15 for this one. That first game went 3 hours and 26 minutes.
It was long.
It was very long. It did end with Andres Barroso picking up his first win of the year. Called a strike at the knees on Lee, count 2-1. Vidmar has a career ERA of 9.49. Runner goes, swing and a miss by Lee. Here's the throw down to second. It is in time, and Almonte is out caught stealing.
That is something that you don't see often, Mike, is Eric Almonte caught stealing. A fantastic throw by the catcher behind the plate. And in the first game, there was a few bobbles behind the plate or hesitations to throw. That one was on a dime.
Yeah. Not the greatest jump by Almonte either. Lee now bats with the bases empty at a 2-2 count, fouls it away. And Vidmar has had a season ERA of over 10 every year except his freshman year. Lee pops it up on the infield. In foul territory, third base side, moving over. The catcher, King, snags it out of the air for out number 2.
Again, wind may be a little bit of a factor in that catch, but King did a fantastic job of getting under the ball, calling off his third baseman to grab that catch. It doesn't always have to look pretty as long as it's caught.
Here's Jeter Poyeto, who continued to struggle in the field in game number 1 of this series, committed 2 errors over at second base. Nobody on, 2 out. And he got clipped on the shoulder guard, and he'll go to first after only one pitch.
All three batters that the Wildcats have had up, their first pitch to them has been very tight to their bodies. Almonte did a little pirouette spin. Darryl just pulled inside, and then that one clipped Jeter.
Weather at first pitch, clear skies, 60 degrees. The wind blowing in from center field. Between 9 and 11 mile an hour. The 2-0 to Jorge Rodriguez, sorry, the 1-0 to Jorge Rodriguez in the outer center field. Moving back is Turner. He looks up and makes the catch 3 strides short of the track. And that'll be the end of the inning. No runs, no hits, and 1 left. And we go to the second inning of play. No score between the Wildcats and the Hornets here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. We slide to the second inning here in Daytona Beach. Second of the doubleheader between the Wildcats and Delaware State. Both teams go quietly in the first. Michael Benedict had a loud beginning to his evening, getting 3 straight strikeouts to begin his game. He'll face Alec Rodriguez. Rodriguez, ground ball over to second, fielded deep in the hole. Got to throw quickly, does Poyeto, and he will throw him out for out number 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, this announcement serves as the last call for food and alcohol.
That'll bring up Justin Batts. Batts, the designated hitter, was at first base in the last game. Grounded out 3 times and then walked and reached on a fielder's choice. He grounds it to the shortstop, Eric Almonte, 2 hops across and 2 down on 2 pitches.
It's exactly what the Wildcats were looking for. We talked about it earlier on, right before the game started, that it was important that Michael Benedict, A, got the first batter out, and B, worked quickly, had his pitch count low so that he can continue and withstand throughout this game. He's doing just that.
Now to bring up Brendan Timmons, one of the additions to the lineup for this game. A senior from Middletown, Delaware. Looks to the first pitch from Benedict and watches it low. So there will be no 3-pitch inning here.
One could wish.
It's one of the rarest feats in baseball, the 3-pitch inning. Fastball at the knees. Benedict has that fastball humming up around the 91-92 mark tonight. Timmons, another career Hornet, now in his 4th season with Delaware State. Fastball outside corner, strike 2. Last year, 8 starts, 18 appearances for Timmons. Batted just .088, 3 hits, 3 runs, a homer, and 3 RBI. That one, a changeup goes inside. So far this season, he's played in 3 games. This is his 4th appearance of the year. There's a run on a hit. 4 walks, no RBIs. He punches one slowly towards Rodriguez at first. 1, 2, 3, go. The Hornets, and we go to the bottom of the 2nd with the Wildcats looking to break through here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. To the bottom of the 2nd we go. Michael Lucena leads off for Bethune-Cookman. Started the year at catcher, but due to the injury to Andre Martinez over at 3rd, he's been pressed into service as the 3rd baseman. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Wildcats got 2 men aboard in the 1st, both by free passes. Almonte walked and then was caught stealing, and Gita Poyeta was hit by a pitch and stranded there. Off the end of the bat, high pop to right field. Coco makes the catch. And there's out number 1. Here's Jose Fernandez playing catcher in this game. He slides in behind the plate from designated hitter. Fernandez in the first game, just 1 for 5 and hit into 2 double plays. Did come around to score the one time he was on base. Breaking ball down low by Vidmar, and it's 1-0. Line drive off the end of the bat. That's going to drop in for a hit in front of bats. Nice piece of hitting by Jose Fernandez. The Wildcats have their first hit of the night. That'll bring up Michael Fernandez, another injury replacement on this team, in right field in place of Armani Newton. First pitch down low. In the first game, Michael Rodriguez scored 2 runs on a hit and a walk. Also was hit by a pitch Grounded out once and lined out once. And a spectacular catch by Boyd over second. Pitch. Off the end of the bat, foul. The defensive alignment for Delaware State looks like this. Vidmar pitching, King catching. Sample at third, Hudson at second. Hudson at short, Boyd at second, Timmons at first. In the outfield left to right, it's Batts, Turner, and Coco. Low and inside. Vidmar, I think in every batter so far, Jade, has flirted with a hit by pitch, even though he's only hit one so far.
No, he definitely has been very close to hitting the batters for BCU, something they need to be aware of.
Runner goes, pitch outside on a pitch out, throw down to second, and the speedy Jose Fernandez is in there. That's a sentence I wouldn't have thought I would say a season ago. He kind of lumbered last season.
Well, he got a really good jump there, and I'm laughing because he slid, and then his slide took him to sit on the base, and so he was just sitting there for a few seconds before he got up.
It's one of those things about turf, right? It does not act the way that dirt does.
No.
As there's ball 4 to Michael Rodriguez.
Especially as it gets colder, you're going to slide a lot more. Midweek that they got caught stealing a handful of times because they weren't used to the slide of the turf when it's slick and it's more moist at night.
Here's Sergio Rivera in game 1 this afternoon. He scored 3 runs, a hit, 2 walks and a fielder's choice. A fly out and a ground out. He puts it in the air to right field. Coco has to go. Coco almost charged that, thinking it was going to be down in front of him and got punished for it, but there's 2 away, 2 flyouts to right. And here is the one big change in the lineup for game 2. Ruben Zueni gets a chance to be in the starting lineup.
We've seen him in right field as well, switching with Mikey because of Armani Newton's injury. We've seen him at DH as well this season. Just a powerful freshman who has such a bright future ahead of him. When he makes contact with the ball, it is something to watch. I mean, I've seen him in BP, and it's homer after hard hit ball, and a kid that the coaching staff is very excited to have on their roster.
Zueni watched the breaking ball low and inside. He almost hit a home run the first pitch he saw at the college level back on opening night.
He's going to be doing some special things as the season goes on for the Wildcats.
Zueni out of Coral Springs High School. Check swing up and in, he went around. His brother Roberto also played college baseball.
The Zuenis are pretty frequent flyers here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark, whether they know he's playing or not. They're always in the stands. Haven't seen them tonight, though.
I got to meet him on opening weekend. Very proud of Ruben and very complimentary of the program and why he's here. And he was offered by a couple other schools and chose to come here to Bethune-Cookman and potentially chase a championship. 2 on, 2 out the pitch. Strike 3 called to the knees. Nice pitch by Vidmar, and that'll be the end of the inning. No runs, a hit, and 2 left, and we go to the 3rd inning. Still no score here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. We move to the third here in Daytona Beach at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. No score between the Delaware State Hornets and the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Michael Benedict has set him up and knocked him down through 2. 3 strikeouts and 3 ground balls. And for the first time, he'll place the catcher, Caleb King. King in the first game singled and scored, struck out, and was hit by 2 pitches. He fouls one straight back. Caleb King, the sophomore from Newark, Delaware. Benedict ahead in the count 0-1. Pop foul out of play. And it's refreshing after we saw both pitching staffs really in the first game struggle with command. There was a combined 18 walks in game number 1. To see Michael Benedict just attack the zone.
He's so confident up there on the mound. You just love to watch him if you're a Wildcat fan.
He's also seemingly the only sensible one in the game today.
Wait, what do you mean?
He's wearing the long sleeves under the jersey. Everybody else is wearing shorts out there, and it's cold.
No, we got Mikey out and right. Mikey's got sleeves on.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I think Surge does over there, too.
Swing and a miss, and strikeout number 4 for Benedict as down goes King. Set him up with the fastball up and in, finished him off with the slider low and away.
Arm's definitely staying warm, though, with those sleeves, that's for sure.
Now here's Cameron Coco, the right fielder. Coco moves from the 9th spot to the 8th spot. 2 groundouts, a strikeout, and a single in game number 1 for Coco. He takes a fastball at the knees for strike 1. Michael Benedict just 24 pitches. Here's pitch number 25. It's low. Remember, it took the Wildcats 30 pitches to get out of the top of the first in game 1. Called a strike at the knees on a check swing by Coco. Cameron Coco, the junior from Bear, Delaware. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Strikeout number 5 for Benedict.
The shortstop, number 28, Gavin Hudson.
Here's another one. I'm sorry, I've just been ruthlessly mocked by producer Lee. I'm going to throw him under the bus live on air.
He hasn't stopped laughing.
Neither have I. Ground ball up the middle, fielded behind the bag. Tough play for Almonte, and the scoop is not there for Rodriguez as Gavin Hudson reaches with the first base hit of the game for Delaware State.
Eric Almonte, watching him play defense is just a true baller. He's diving everywhere. He's trying to find the best way to get the ball out of his glove as quickly as possible. It's just the way that he moves his feet, gets in front of the baseball. That a tough play over there at first for Georgie, and Wildcats were almost out of this one again.
Yeah, the throw got there on time, but it was low to the non-glove side, pulled him off the bag. First pitch down low and away to Hassan Turner, struck out his first time up. The sophomore from Newcastle, Delaware, Turner. Most of this Delaware State team from the state of Delaware. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw down to first is not there as Fernandez will hold the ball. We have definitely seen plays like that called batter interference this season. The umpires do not call it that time. Now a runner in scoring position with 2 down. Fastball in there for a strike. And it's 1-2. The real test of a pitcher is how you act with runners on base, specifically with runners in scoring position. It's easy enough to mow guys down when the bases are empty. What do you do when the pressure's on? Pop up, foul territory, first base side. Rodriguez got it for out number 3. No runs, a hit, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third. Wildcats still looking to break through here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. Back to the top of the order as we begin the bottom of the third. Eric Almonte leads off. He walked and was caught stealing back in the first. Both teams with 1 hit through 3. Nathan Vidmar has done it with the ground out and the soft fly out. Michael Benedict has done it with the strikeout. That one down low. Almonte taps it foul right at the plate. Almonte, the transfer from UCF. 18 appearances last season. Just 1 hit in 10 at-bats. He was primarily as a pinch runner, and he is now in a 2-strike count as he waves and misses at a pitch in the dirt. Before that, spent 2 years at State College of Florida, Almonte. Had a .342 batting average at a sophomore. The count runs full as that one's down low. Vidmar loses Almonte for the 2nd time, and he is aboard with nobody out. So Almonte has walked twice, and now here's Darrell Lee, who popped out behind the plate to the catcher King his first time up. Darrell Lee this season has started like a firecracker, a .412 batting average, as he pops one foul out of play to the left-hand side. 16 runs on 14 hits. Of course, these numbers before the first game of our doubleheader. A team-high 5 doubles, a triple, a homer, and 7 RBI. Lee watches one low. And it's 1-1. Lee goes after an up-and-out fastball and fouls it away against the screen, and it's 1-2. We are quickly reaching the kind of first point of the season where I like to reserve judgment on a baseball team. You play about 20 games. Lee rockets that one up the middle. Almonte rounding second, charging towards third. Darrell Lee puts runners on the corners with nobody out.
Picked up right where he left off in the first game, just continuing to get on base, see ball, hit ball. That's Darrell Lee's game. And one of my favorite things about him at the plate is he sees every pitch and then looks right back at the guys who are on deck or the guys in the dugout, just letting them know kind of what he's seeing and how he approaches it. And that's why I feel like a part of why he's so successful.
Here's Judah Poyeto hit by a pitch his first time up. What I mean by that is, you know, and there are several points in a season where you take stock and look at a team and go, okay, where are we at? And right before conference play is one of those markers. Inside on Poyeto, almost got hit again. And I think the Wildcats are in a good spot. Obviously, the record is now 8-3 after the win this afternoon. The caliber of opposition early on in the year, maybe not as strong as it was a season ago. But the win over USF is very important. Outside and low. Oh, no call to strike. Late call by home plate umpire Kevin Bultron.
I think this trip to Miami this week for them will be very telling, exciting as well to get out of Daytona Beach, make the trip down to Miami, and really see what they're about under the lights.
Grounder to short, could be two, bobbled by Hudson, and everybody's safe. The Wildcats take the lead. Almonte comes in, and it's 1-0. Officially called an infield single. And here is Jorge Rodriguez, who had himself a rip-roar in game one. 2 runs scored, 2 RBI doubles. And a chance to put more runs on the board here in the third. Wildcats have opened the scoring, 1-0. Oh. Got to go back to first, and sliding in there safely is Poyeto. He's done that a couple times across the doubleheader today, King. Just quick reaction save, almost like a hockey goalie, to prevent the ball from going to the backstop. That one took a bad hop from just inside where the dirt ends and the turf begins in front of the plate. Vidmar comes home with it and misses low. Oh, wow, that's a strike call too. So
Good frame.
Yeah, Bultron's zone seems to favor down and away to righties, something to file away for later. Something that may be important. There's a big hole on the left-hand side, and guess who finds it? Jorge Rodriguez. Coming around third to score is Darrell Lee, and it's 2-0 Cats.
And just like that, pass the bat back to the next guy. Georgie picks up right where he left off in that first game today. Another RBI for him, and like you mentioned, that perfect little hole in between short and third, and he blasted the ball through there.
The last thing I'll say about the current state of the team in my early season take stock moment is that there's a swing and a miss by Lucena. The offense looks completely different from what we expected it to look like. We were expecting all of these home runs, mashing the ball, doubles and triples in the gaps, and it hasn't really looked like that, as that one misses inside, 1-1. It's been a lot of stuff just like we saw from Jorge Rodriguez, a lot of timely hitting, finding the gaps, moving guys up one base at a time. There's been more steals than I expected as well, trying to play some small ball. And it's been very effective so far.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you always think flashy power hitting, these monster hits that fire everybody up. Yes, exciting and yes, needed. But I feel like this team is much more well suited for that small ball type of playing style, and it's working for them right now. And of course, there will be a time where you're going to need your mash hitters to come up and smoke a ball over the fence, or you're going to need people to come up in clutch hitting positions to make it happen. But right now, just see ball, hit ball, get runners on base. It's working for the Wildcats.
Both runners go. The throw goes to second, and it is well wide of the mark. And the ball gets into center field, and coming in is Poyeto, so it'll be 3-0 Bethune-Cookman. Capitalizing on defensive mistakes again, that's really what allowed them to pull away in game number 1.
Well, honestly, and they're lucky that that ball was thrown away, because Georgie was going to be out by a mile if that throw was on target to second base.
Now, Jorge Rodriguez, I'm always baffled when he tries to steal or take extra bases as Michael Lucena draws a walk. We saw it in the first game, right? He scored from second on a ground ball up the middle. And with Coach Hernandez in the third base coach's box, waving him all the way.
Now batting, the catcher, number 44, Jose Fernandez.
3 in the inning for the Wildcats already. Jose Fernandez, a towering fly ball to right center field. That's going to hold up in the wind and be caught by Coco. Fernandez is going to go to third and dive in unopposed. So there's the first out of the inning. Michael Coco has been busy out there. Correction, Cameron Coco. I confused him with Michael Rodriguez, who's now at the plate. Cameron Coco has had a busy first 3 innings out there. That's his third put out. But Rodriguez on third now. Runner goes to second, and they tried the double steal. They get the out at first, and the run comes in. So the Wildcats do scratch across another run. Michael Lucena is out, but coming in is Rodriguez, and it's 4-0. That is the epitome of small ball right there. Give up the man on the base pass, let the man on third score.
And honestly, Lucena almost made it back to first before he was tagged, too, so close play there as well. I love the aggressiveness with which Johnny Hernandez is playing right now.
Now 2 away, so a free hit for Mikey Rodriguez. A little check swing chopper towards short. Charging is Hudson, and that's the end of the inning. 4 runs on 3 hits and nobody left. And we go to the 4th inning. The Wildcats have opened this one up 4-0 over Delaware State here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. Michael Benedict is now pitching with a 4-run lead as the Wildcats play 4 in the third. Take a 4-0 lead over Delaware State in the last of this 4-game series at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. First pitch outside to the lefty Carter Boyd, who struck out his first time up. Swing and a miss. And what's really struck me in this outing for Benedict more than his first two is the command on the mix. He's really good about changing location, changing velocity, running the slider in on the hands to lefties sometimes. There he catches the outside corner with a fastball, and he's really got these Delaware State hitters confused.
That, and he's also just working very quickly. As soon as one pitch is thrown, he's ready to get the ball back in his mitt and go again.
That one, a waste pitch outside. And the first 3 innings on just 33 pitches for Benedict. Misses another one outside, and it's 3-2. Count goes full on Boyd. Boyd scored 2 runs in the first game. Fouls away a fastball at the heart of the zone. Benedict's been setting up that slider to finish off hitters with the fastball, but it's better against righties than it is lefties. Let's see if he runs it out here on the full count. And he misses upstairs and away, and there's the first walk of the game allowed by Benedict.
I mean, he's just missing those spots. You can see him just painting the outside corner of the strike zone. The two before, yes, maybe a little bit more outside, obviously, but that one just missed.
Benedict, in his first 2 appearances of the year, walked 4 in 5 1/3. That was his first walk tonight. That'll bring up Jaron Sample, throw back to first. Sample struck out his first time up, a part of the 3 strikeout first that Benedict put together. We know how Delaware State can swing the bats and take advantage of Wildcat defensive mistakes. There's a big cut and miss on a curveball. Delaware State led for the majority of game number 1 in this doubleheader before the Wildcats poured it on to the 5th and 6th inning to take a lead that they would not relinquish. They also out-hit the Wildcats 12-9 in the game. Pop foul as Sample barely catches up to that breaking ball. Delaware State, and I'm going to say this a lot about SWAC teams when we get the conference play too, have the kind of bats that make you think no lead is ever safe. Delaware State stranded 12, as well as scoring 8 runs in game 1 of the doubleheader. Another quick pick off to first. That's a good location, but Boyd just gets back in time. Boyd has 4 steals on 6 attempts so far this season, as Sample fouls it back. Busy day of baseball in the Southwestern Athletic Conference as weekend series finish up. Benedict deals. Punched foul up over the roof. Sample stays alive. This is the longest at-bat of the game so far. Alabama A&M beat UIC 5-4 in a neutral site game in Cookeville, Tennessee. New Mexico State pounded Prairie View 16-1 out in Las Cruces. Another pick off the first. Jackson State came back to win against UNC Asheville at home, 6-5. Scored 5 runs in the 5th, did the Tigers. Florida A&M beat Central Connecticut State 9-3. That's another team from the NEC, the same conference as Delaware State. Valparaiso beat Alabama State 3-1 in Montgomery. Morehead State beat Southern 8-7 in Baton Rouge. They'll pick off the first again as Boyd walks back in. Arkansas Pine Bluff lost on the road to Arkansas State. I believe that final was 7-3, I will confirm. It was 7-2. Arkansas State wins that one. Fouled away again. Texas Southern crushed Texas A&M at Corpus Christi, 16-4.
Jeez.
And Mississippi Valley State got out the bats as they beat Alcorn State 15-7. Only one other game going on right now around the SWAC. That is Northeastern against Grambling State down in Louisiana. Northeastern coming off a really big year, including a tournament run, including ending the Wildcats season in the Tallahassee Regional. Northeastern currently leads Grambling State 1-0 in the 4th down in Louisiana. Ground ball to short. High chopper. Stepping on the bag is Almonte across the first. Double play. You told me you were impressed by Eric Almonte's defense. That was a tough one to handle and to judge off the turf, and he did it perfectly.
Smooth like butter. He fielded it perfectly, got over to second base, called off Jeter, and then threw it calmly over to first. It's really just all in the mechanics and just seems so natural for Eric Almonte over there at short.
That was a really long at-bat. Here's Alec Rodriguez, swing and a miss. That at-bat was 13 pitches. And eventually, Sample grounds into a double play. Rodriguez grounded out to second his first time up. That began the second inning for Delaware State. Fastball outside. And just as I looked at the Grambling State Northeastern score again, Northeastern hits a 2-run home run, and it's 3-0. Northeastern, a team that is likely to go back to the NCAA tournament again this year. Woo. Michael Benedict looks at his hand in confusion after that slider gets away from him and heads to the backstop. As if almost to ask his fingers, hey, what are you doing?
Didn't mean for that one.
Chopper towards first, that's a foul ball. And they made the play anyway. Good on Rodriguez and Benedict, but that ball went foul.
I feel like Johnny Hernandez is in the dugout smiling for that one just because just the do-it attitude from his team, right? You never know. Yes, it was called foul before Georgie threw it to Benedict, but just to play it out, might as well. He was covering the base already.
You never know.
It was already in his flow to throw it.
We got the one double play in the last game because the runner missed the bag.
Yep.
They throw back to first. High pop, shallow right field. 4 Wildcats converge. Sergio Rivera calls everybody off and ends the inning. A double play means 1, 2, 3. Go the Hornets. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Wildcats looking to improve on their 4-0 lead here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. Fresh off of making the catch to end the top of the fourth, Sergio Rivera leads off the bottom of the fourth with the Wildcats up 4-0 over Delaware State. They're going to sweep this four-game series with their former MEAC rivals, just as they did last year to Maryland Eastern Shore. And I said earlier something about the caliber of opposition for the Wildcats so far this season. That changes this week.
It does indeed.
They'll get Miami on Wednesday, a series against Florida Gulf Coast Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then a week from Tuesday at North Florida in Jacksonville. And then they'll start SWAC play with Prairie View A&M. Line drive past the diving glove of Boyd at second and into right field for a base hit for Sergio Rivera. A little seeing eye single the other way.
The designated hitter, number 28, Ruben Zuwaini.
Ruben Zuwaini will look for a better outcome in his second at-bat than his first. Struck out looking his first time up. Currently the only strikeout victim of Nathan Vidmar. That opening series against Prairie View A&M, March 13th, 14th, and 15th here at the Jack will be the first time the Wildcats will have ever played Prairie View A&M in the regular season. We've seen them in the tournament before, but not the regular season. That's because up until last year, the SWAC operated on a group play system where the regular season was a double round robin in your divisions. You never saw the other division in the regular season. The coaches before the 2025 season voted to change that, so you see everybody once, missing one every year.
I like that better.
I do too. It does mean, though, that you only see teams at home once every other year, so we don't get Florida A&M, for example, at the Jack this year. That series will be up in Tallahassee. Swing and a miss by Zuwaini. Throw back to first, goes up the line. Sergio Rivera on his way to second. He's going to try and get to third as the ball rolls all the way to the wall. He's going to try and get home. Here comes the relay throw. It's not even going to make it there. A little walk in the park for Sergio Rivera as he scampers all the way home on a throwing error.
And it is very rare that you see anything like that normally. Scoring from first, trying to steal, having to go back and then go all the way around. Sergio's got the speed, and the ball was honestly almost to the foul pole.
So
right
that
field.
Ball went up the right field line. It hit off the end of the wall that's jutting out into foul territory from the Yingling flight deck area and kicked past Coco, who was trying to field it, and rolled near the wall. A little bit fortunate, yes, but you need the speed as well.
Right.
Rivera's got that in spades. I remember last year when we were up at the SWAC tournament in Birmingham, and that one's fouled away by Zuwaini. I was interviewing Sergio Rivera for my interview series that I do every year, and I don't think I asked him a question about it, but we were talking before the interview, and I said, have you ever run track at any point? I don't think he had, but he's got the build for it. Check swing. Did he go? No. And it's a walk for Zuwaini. And that'll bring up Eric Almonte. Wildcats already going through the third time through the order here in the fourth. Almonte has been on twice. Walked in the first, was caught stealing. Walked in the third, and came home on the Darrell Lee single. Oh, correction, he came home on the Gita Puyeto single. First pitch inside, called strike one. Delaware State only has one more game before they begin conference play. They'll play UMBC in Baltimore on Wednesday. That one is high in the air to right field. Going back is Coco. He will track it down for out number 1. That's another one that off the bat looked like it was destined for the Advent Health Fieldhouse, and the wind just kind of said, no, not tonight.
I don't know if it necessarily had all the power to get over the wall, but it certainly had the look of it and the sound off the bat, and maybe if the wind was blowing a little bit out, we would have seen it over for Almonte.
Lee in the air to right field. Back goes Coco. Track, wall. It's off the wall and lands at the base. Lee cruises into second with a double. From first to third goes Zueni, and there's second and third with one down. That's another one that I thought should have got out of here.
Yeah, that one was closer too. I think that definitely had the ability to get over the wall, and Darrell Lee, just what a weekend he's having at the plate. Not too much crazy work out there in left field for him to handle, but at the plate, he has had a monstrous weekend against Delaware State.
What did you say in the doubleheader yesterday? And 6 runs on 5 hits? Something ridiculous?
Yes. 6 at-bats, 6 runs, 5 hits.
Jeter Poyeto gets plunked on the arm by one of the slowest curveballs I think I've ever seen.
I think he saw that one coming the whole way and wore it.
So the bases are now loaded with Zueni on third, Lee on second, Poyeto on first, and Jorge Rodriguez has 3 runs batted in so far across the doubleheader. Had 2 ribby doubles in the first game and an RBI single in the last inning, and he's got the bases loaded with 1 out, and he watches a ball low. This is now reminding me more of the second game yesterday than the first game yesterday, where the Wildcats jumped out to a big lead early. Delaware State came back, made it interesting. Fouled back, and it's 1-1. But in the second game, the Wildcats won 15-0. They didn't really get going to the fourth, where they scored 6 in the fourth and 5 in the fifth. Sorry, 6 in the fourth and 4 in the fifth for 10 runs across those 2 innings. And no action yet in the Delaware State bullpen. You wonder how much Delaware State has left in the bullpen after a 4-game series. Rodriguez chops it towards short, deep in the hole, fielded by Hudson. He throws across the diamond, and it's not going to get there in time on a couple of hops. It's another RBI for Jorge Rodriguez, his 4th of the day. Zueni comes in to score. Lee goes to third, Poyeto to second.
He wanted that one so bad. You could see it the entire time he was running. He could see the ball as it was about to get into the first baseman's glove and just kicked it into any gear that he had left into him to run down the baseline. And the bases remain loaded for the Wildcats.
Michael Lucena flied to right his first time up. Still only 1 out in the inning. That was the fly to right by Eric Almonte that almost got out of here. Swing and a miss by Lucena, way ahead of that changeup outside. Off the inside of the bat, that's dropping quickly, and it's going to get down in front of Coco in right field. Everybody moves up a base, and the carousel keeps turning for the Wildcats. Scoring is Lee. Going to third is Poyeto, on to second Rodriguez, and in there with an RBI single is Lucena. And now the Wildcat dugout having fun with it down there. And now work starts getting going in the Delaware State bullpen. So in games like this, it's all about, you need your fun anecdotes. Here's one. I got a fun anecdote for you.
I'm ready for this.
From 3 years ago, which was the first year I covered the baseball team full time.
Mm-hmm.
During one of their early season road trips, Coach Hernandez took the whole squad to Buc-ee's. This was before the Buc-ee's had been built out on International Speedway.
So where, okay.
I think they were in Texas or
Okay.
or somewhere around there. And the stories from the guys coming back from that trip were all about Buc-ee's. You could ask him about the game. You could ask him about it. It was like, man, that Buc-ee's was awesome.
They'll retie it in there somehow.
So for the rest of the season, whenever somebody scored and was going back to the dugout, the fresh brisket on the board, and the whole team would do it every time they scored.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And
there is something about Buc-ee's that just gets you.
It became the team's kind of mantra.
They should bring it back.
Jose Fernandez. That's hit. And the carousel continues again. Boyedo scores from third. Rodriguez goes to third. Lucena to second. Fernandez to first. And I don't think for Delaware State, the man they've got in the bullpen can warm up fast enough because Vidmar has completely lost control of this inning. Still only one out. The batter is Michael Rodriguez. He's the ninth hitter of the inning. And he almost got hit with the first pitch.
That one was close.
Yep.
What's your favorite thing to get from Buc-ee's?
Normally I would just say like your standard brisket sandwich.
Right.
But, of course, this past week, as there's a strike inside corner. This past week, I've been going to DeLand and or Altamont every day to cover the high school state championships for soccer, as I do every year. Rodriguez fouls it off to the third base side. And I've been going twice. I had to stop and get gas, but I was there at like 6:30 in the morning, and I'd never been there for breakfast before. So I'm like, yeah, why not? I'll try one of these.
Yeah, what do they have for breakfast?
The brisket and egg soft shell taco.
Oh,
was better than it had really any right to be.
That sounds good, honestly.
I will probably be getting that again at some point.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. That sounds good.
Rodriguez dribbles it through the third base side. That'll get down. And it's bobbled and left by bats. That'll allow 2 runs to score. Going to third and safe is Fernandez. So Rodriguez comes in. Lucena comes in. A 2 RBI single by Rodriguez. And the Wildcats have batted around. Jose Fernandez goes from first to third.
The boys are definitely getting their conditioning in, to say the least, with the amount of running that they're doing around the base paths.
The Cats have plated 6 in the inning. And that'll be the end for Vidmar, as the Wildcats will bat around. You didn't answer your own question. What is your go-to Buc-ee's thing?
I'm a big brisket sandwich girl. It's not original, I guess, at all. Anything like pulled pork, lots of barbecue sauce, the saucier the better, in my opinion. I do like their coffee bar. You can make your own, little recipe, if you will. And they have a specifically like one for cold, like if you want iced coffee, so it's even better. You don't have to have the warm coffee, and then it's not good.
Yeah, I'm not a coffee person, so I've
not at all. Why not?
I don't like it. Never liked it.
Any sort of energy, anything?
I'm a hot tea person.
Okay, good. That's
yes,
good.
Definitely. Now I think that stems from my musician background.
Yeah.
A lot of that. Definitely. Earl Grey, English breakfast, stuff like that. That you will find out when we go on the road. That is a morning ritual. Anytime I'm on a work trip with BCU.
Yeah.
It's a morning cup of tea.
I love that for you. I am give me my coffee or you're going to get your head ripped off type person. So people have noticed that in the office now. They'll come downstairs and they'll ask me if I've had my coffee, and I'll be honest and say yes or no, and they will either exit the room or have a chat. So it's a thing.
Well, at least you're honest about it.
No, and they're aware as well. It's it's a good system we have going for us.
The new pitcher for Delaware State is Shane Carter, the freshman from San Diego, California, at Mount Carmel High School. was a standout out at Mount Carmel. Won a San Diego sectional championship as a senior. Was 8-1 on the mound his senior year, Shane Carter. This will be his 4th appearance of the season. He's currently got a 15.43 ERA. Sergio Rivera will bat now. Earlier in the inning, he singled to right, came around to score on the throwing error all the way from first. That was a throwing error by King behind the plate. First pitch for Carter is up and in, ball 1. Carter has thrown 4 2/3 innings this season. He's given up 11 runs on 5 hits, 8 earned, walking 6 and striking out 2. And the righty deals. Fastball caught the outside corner for a strike. Went 1 1/3 against VMI, 1 1/3 against Navy, and 2 full innings against LaSalle. Is 1-1. Breaking ball tipped into the glove, and it's 1-2. The one he'll want back is the inning in the 3rd against VMI, where he gives up 7 runs on 3 hits, walked 4. Wildcats have poured it on in this inning. 6 runs in the frame. They're up 10-0. Breaking ball misses outside, 2-2 on Sergio Rivera. Sergio Rivera led off this inning all the way back at the beginning of it with a single to shallow right. There's still only 1 out in the frame as Rivera watches strike 3 low. And there's the 2nd out.
I might have had the same reaction if I was Serge at the plate right there. That ball looked really low, and maybe kudos to the frame job by King behind the plate for putting that pitch, making it look better than it was, but I feel for Serge's reaction there.
So now 2 away in the inning. Here's Ruben Zuene. 2nd and 3rd. Jose Fernandez on 2nd. Michael Rodriguez on, Fernandez on 3rd. Rodriguez on 2nd. Breaking ball, strike outside corner. Zuene looking for RBI number 3 and 4 on the season. Swing and a miss, and a pitch way down and away. And he's in a 2-strike hole. This is Zuene's only 2nd start of the year. Got it against South Florida with the start and struck out twice in 3 at-bats. Down 0-2, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's the end of the inning. Good recovery from Shane Carter. He gets it, gets 2 strikeouts, but now before 6 runs come across the board for the Wildcats, we go to the 5th inning. Wildcats 10, Delaware State nothing here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. New pitcher for Bethune-Cookman as we go to the 5th. Michael Benedict's night is done. Pablo Torres will pick it up for the Wildcats, making his 3rd appearance of the season. His first batter against will be Justin Batts. And the first pitch from the righty Torres is a foul ball at a fastball in on the hands. 2 1/3 innings for Pablo Torres so far. He's allowed 4 runs on 3 hits, 2 earned, striking out 3 and walking 1. He's also hit a batter. Fastball outside, ball 1. Did pick up the win against Bradley on opening night. He came in with the Wildcats up 1-0 in the 9th, gave up the 1 run. Only for Sergio Rivera to walk it off in the bottom of the inning. Upstairs on the change, 2-1. Then against Yale, he gave up 3 runs on 2 hits, just 1 earned, struck out 2, didn't walk anybody. That was only an inning and a third. Pablo Torres has plenty of USA Baseball Collegiate National Team experience. Fastball on the outside corner, called strike 2. Of course, Coach Hernandez also heavily involved with that team. The SWAC reliever of the year 2 years ago in his sophomore season in 2024, but hasn't really recovered from an injury in the 2024-25 offseason as he lets bats get on with a walk. But a game like this is a perfect opportunity to get someone like Torres or anybody on this Wildcat staff into the game, get them some innings.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to say, is these innings are important for any type of pitcher, no matter if you're recovering from injury, haven't pitched in a while, or, you're an everyday type of guy. Moments like these matter regardless.
First pitch, fastball, strike inside corner. He may have the most impressive fastball on the team, can run it up in the 95, 96 range if he really gets it going. That one outside. Before the 2025 season, he was named the number 30 relief pitcher in all of college baseball, according to Perfect Game. Last year, had 21 strikeouts in 28 2/3 innings with a 5.97 ERA. That one down Broadway for strike 2.
When Pablo's dealing, you're being dealt with, if that makes sense.
It's fun to watch. Here's a pitch to Timmons. In the dirt, try to get him to swing at a breaking ball. Brendan Timmons grounded out to first his first time up. That was the end of the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss. Ran the fastball by him on the outside corner. Strikeout number 1 for Pablo Torres. It was an excellent start for Michael Benedict. He threw 4 innings, only allowed 1 hit, struck out 5, walked 1.
I was very impressed with Michael Benedict's pitching tonight on the mound. He did exactly what he needed to do, scoreless through 4. Pablo here to take the reins the rest of the way.
High pop down the right field line for Caleb King into foul territory, and that will just barely go out of play. It ends up being a long strike. King struck out his first time up. He was the 4th strikeout victim for Michael Benedict. Bats on first after a leadoff walk and 1 out. Torres, the 0-1. Swing and a miss. And that's the kind of fastball that gets you thinking why he was rated so highly coming out of the 2024 season. He was doing stuff like that as a sophomore. Fastball just low. He is one of the guys on this team with real pro aspirations. I would also put guys like Jorge Rodriguez, Andre Martinez, Justin Morales in that conversation as well.
Yeah, and the thing about Pablo is, can we keep him healthy and consistent in SWAC play where it matters so much?
Breaking ball, little excuse me, check swing out towards the dugout and up onto the roof. King stays alive in a 1-2 count.
Because he's a type of arm, it's almost like a hidden gem that you have on your roster that obviously proven to be very valuable, high caliber player, and you put him in and slot him in different positions, pitching wise throughout the SWAC rotation. That's powerful for the Wildcats to have in their back pocket.
High fly ball down the right field line, giving Chase Rodriguez, he's going to run out of room. And it's a foul ball.
I was hoping someone would tell him, or he would see the wall in front of him, because that was close.
I will say, I'm kind of glad that the party deck or the flight deck, it's been called many things over the years, is going to be removed in the next round of renovations here, because it is a little bit of a hazard out there, and I'd like to see more space down that right field line. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second, gets into center field. Strikeout for Torres. Bats gets the stolen base, and there's 2 away.
Now batting the right fielder, number 39, Cameron Coco.
Taking away the throw down to second for Fernandez. My goodness, Caleb King was nowhere near that fastball. It was up by his head, and he still swung at it. 2 away in the inning. Here's Cameron Coco, struck out his first time up. Check swing, he went around. There's strike number 1. And there was some discourse among the BCU baseball following when Justin Morales was brought in, as that one is fouled away down the first base side, that it would hurt Pablo Torres because now he has competition for the closer spot, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's the opposite. I think he relishes the fact that there's someone in the bullpen with him that he's got to outwork.
Yeah, and that creates healthy competition. You also, for other teams, you don't know which arm you're going to get, so both as lethal as the other ones, to be honest. And honestly, with Justin being away now with the World Baseball Classic, he's leaving today, Pablo has an opportunity to kind of step into a role and see how he fits into that in this type of season with this team for BCU.
Chop foul at home plate. The count holds 0-2 on Coco. And of course, good luck to Justin Morales and the entirety of Team Netherlands as they start their World Baseball Classic coming up in a couple weeks. Unfortunately, I will not be able to get down there to catch any of those games. I wanted to, but of course, basketball gets in the way.
Always.
Always. Low and inside, 1-2.
We do have a change defensively for the Wildcats. I don't know if you mentioned this earlier, but JC Chicano is now at shortstop for Almonte for the Wildcats. Everything else is the same.
First of, I would assume, many, many changes for the Wildcats here in this 4th game.
Yes.
Coco barely stays alive, taps that one foul. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Pablo's only inning. Typical closer, he gives his all for maybe about 20 pitches, and then that's about it.
Yeah.
Starts to degrade after that, especially when you throw as hard as he does. That one on the ground to third. A hot shot fielded by Lucena across the diamond. In time to get Coco by half a step. Though the leadoff walk doesn't come back to hurt the Cats. No scoring in the inning for the Hornets. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Wildcats lead 10-0 here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Wildcats up 10-0. Looking for the series sweep of Delaware State. J.C. Chicano leads off in place of Eric Almonte, who he replaced defensively at shortstop. He bounces that one foul to the right-hand side. The pitcher is still Shane Carter, who came in and got out of the 4th inning with 2 straight strikeouts on Rivera and Zawani. The 0-2. Bounce to the plate in front of Chicano. Chicano, the redshirt freshman from Miami out of St. Brendan High School. This is only his 4th appearance of the season. 5 at-bats, 1 run, no hits, 1 RBI. He's been hit by 3 pitches. Fouls that one back on the curveball. And we're probably going to see everybody here in the next couple of innings for the Wildcats.
You hope so.
Darrell Lee is on deck, so that's not going to change. Of course, the one change the Wildcats made in Game 1 ended up being very, very important, as Chris Watson was the hero of the day as he threw out
That ball was a laser.
the game-ending run at home.
An absolute missile.
Fouled away again by Chicano. Chicano did start Friday's game, the game that was extended to Saturday by a rain delay. A run on 3 at-bats and an RBI as well. Was hit by 2 pitches in that game. Also struck out once. And he strikes out there with a tip into the glove. And there's 1 away. 3 straight strikeouts to start Shane Carter's evening.
He stepped in and did exactly what he was asked to do, just shut down any sort of offensive effort that he could for the Wildcats, who have been on fire since the start of this game. And he's done just that.
Carter only had 2 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings before tonight. He's got 3 straight Ks across the inning break. Here's Darrell Lee. He watches one down and away, called strike 1. Final line on Vidmar. He goes 3 1/3, throws 78 pitches, allows 10 runs on 9 hits, all earned, walks 5, and strikes out 1. Low and away to Lee. Darrell Lee, 2 for 3 in the game, a single, a double, 2 runs scored. To add to his 6 runs on 5 hits from the doubleheader yesterday. And run on 2 hits from earlier this afternoon. What a weekend for D. Lee. He rockets one to right center field. That's going to get down and head towards the wall. He's going to head towards second. He's going to cruise in there, sliding in safely. He had to pick it up about halfway to second because he saw the ball was cut off by Turner in center.
And what a day for Darrell Lee. I mean, that's the second time that he's gotten a double back-to-back at-bats in this game just alone. The way that he's seeing the ball right now is impeccable, and I'll be talking to him later for Wildcat of the Week this week, so we'll figure out some more of what's going on in Darrell Lee's head at the plate.
And every time he makes contact, it makes you perk up and go, whoa, where's that ball going?
Yeah, because it's not at the same place every time. It's spread throughout the field. I want to see the heat map of where he hits the balls.
He's mostly a pull hitter.
Yeah.
But we've seen now 2 straight in the right center field gap. He hit one to left center in the first.
Yeah.
Leon's second one out. The throw back there. Just a token to get him to dive back in. The batter's Poyero. Hit by pitch in the first and fourth and singled on the infield in the third. Has scored twice, Jeter Poyero. That one is a hot shot foul towards the Wildcat bullpen, where there is two pitchers warming up. Kind of confirms my theory that we were only going to see Pablo Torres for one inning. Carter comes on with it and misses it low, and it's 1-2. Coming into today's action, the 14 teams that make up the Northeast Conference in baseball had combined for 6 wins on the season.
It's crazy.
The only team with more than 1 win in the NEC is Norfolk State. They're 2-7. Fouled away by Poyero. He drops to a knee, and the count holds 1-2. Checking in on Grambling State Northeastern. Northeastern still leads 3-0, but Grambling State has the bases loaded with 1 out in the 5th. Carter checks the runner, deals high, 2-2. Couple of new members joining the NEC in the last couple years, including and one departing this year. That's low and outside. Jeter Poyero draws a walk. And the New Haven Chargers up in Connecticut are a brand new Division I program this year. They've made a splash with one of the smallest basketball gyms in Division I and one of the most colorful football fields in Division I. It is bright blue.
Oh. So you know Boise State has the like darker blue. It's like a powdery blue.
Yeah. As a ground ball through the hole to the left-hand side. Here's the relay throw to the plate. It's cut off. Wildcats score again. Darrell Lee comes in from second. Another RBI for Jorge Rodriguez. You said Darrell Lee, and very rightly so, is going to be Wildcat of the Week, but I think Jorge Rodriguez has got to be right behind
exactly.
him.
I was just thinking that as soon as he hit that ball, I said I should have watched my words a little bit because Georgie's making a case for himself.
Michael Lucena will depart the contest. Caleb Scott will bat in his place. Scott, the lefty. We've also had one defensive change for Delaware State in this inning. Scott bounced towards second, flipped to second for one, back to first. Scott beats it out. The ball gets away as in comes Poyero from second. There's another run for the Wildcats. So Rodriguez is out trying to go to second. Scott is in there on a fielder's choice.
Excuse me, the catcher, number 44, Jose Fernandez.
And Poyero comes in on an error. Micah Pelzer is the new catcher for Delaware State. First pitch to Jose Fernandez, hits him in the shoulder. And the inning continues for Bethune-Cookman. Caleb Scott goes to second. Michael Rodriguez's day is done. Chris Watson will replace him. The changes coming thick and fast for the Wildcats, as we expected. What a moment for Chris Watson in game one as he threw the final out of the game, threw the runner out at home plate after making a catch on a fly ball to center. Wildcats would have probably had the game well in hand anyway, but
yeah.
Good moment for Watson.
But what a way to finish it. He looked right past the cutoff man and just threw it home on a dime. And it was perfect.
Now has a chance to get some work done with the bat here with 2 outs. Watch the ball in the outside batter's box. Caleb Scott on second, the transfer from Wallace-Dothan Community College. He reached on a fielder's choice. Then Hernandez was hit by a pitch. And that's a base hit to left field for Watson. The speedy Scott's gonna come in to score, and the Wildcats keep pouring it on. RBI single for Watson. And Sergio Rivera will bat now. He'll stay in the game. Fernandez goes to second. And that might be the end for Shane Carter. He started out by throwing 3 straight strikeouts to the Wildcats, but then Lee doubled, Poyetto walked, Rodriguez singled. Scott reached on a fielder's choice. Fernandez was hit by a pitch. And Chris Watson singled, and the Wildcats have plated 3 in the frame to take a 13-0 lead. Get ready for the Madness in March. The SWAC basketball tournament begins on March 9th. You don't want to miss your chance to catch Bethune-Cookman basketball on the hunt for their first ever SWAC title. All the action goes down at the Gateway Center in Atlanta, featuring both BCU men's and women's hoops and a special appearance from the Marching Wildcats. Get your tickets today at SWAC.org, but if you can't be there in Atlanta, you can watch it all live on ESPN Plus or listen to our hometown call at bcuathletics.com/radio or youtube.com/CatEye Network. I know I am very much looking forward to getting back to Atlanta for the SWAC tournament. It was a great time last year, had a ton of fun. Gateway Center Arena is a great venue for the SWAC tournament.
I'm very excited. Very, very excited to go back to ATO. It's been a while since I've been back there.
You spent some of your college years near there at Kennesaw State.
Yep, 2 years. Year and a half. 2 years.
Swing and a miss by Rivera. He was the first batter to face Shane Carter when he came in back in the 4th, struck out looking. Rivera calls time, adjusts his gloves and his elbow pad, and gets back in. Of course, a lot of hype around Bethune-Cookman men's basketball, going in as the regular season champions, as the tournament favorites. Ball skips to the backstop. The runners will advance. That's the first time we've actually seen a ball get to the backstop tonight. Both King and Fernandez done a great job to prevent that sort of thing from happening, but this time Fernandez and Watson advance. Second and third, 2 out. And a high fly ball to center field. Turner coming in, loses his hat, but has the baseball, and that's the end of the inning. 3 runs on 3 hits and 2 left. And we go to the 6th inning of play. The Wildcats are up 13-0 over Delaware State here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. Pablo Torres only goes 1 inning on the mound and hands off to David Morrissey for his 3rd appearance of the season.
Number 28, Gavin Hudson.
Correction, 4th appearance of the season for Morrissey. He'll face the shortstop Gavin Hudson. Hudson, grounder in front of the mound. Morrissey across to first in time. Hudson was the only and remains the only Delaware State batter to get a hit in this game. Had a bouncer to short that Almonte couldn't quite handle. But he is out 1-3, and David Morrissey is a .245 ERA in 3 appearances. Last time out went 2 full innings against South Florida, as that one's fouled away by Hassan Turner as we're back to the top of the order. Went 2 full innings, struck out 2, didn't allow a run or a hit. Didn't walk anybody. His one struggle outing was against FIU, where he gave up a run on 2 hits in just a 1/3 of an inning. That was part of that Wildcat collapse where they gave up 8 runs in the 3rd in that game. But other than that, Morrissey's been solid. Gave up no runs in an inning and a 1/3. Struck out 1, walked 2 against Bradley on opening night. That's a hot shot towards short. Diving, stopped by Chicano. He throws to first, is not in time, but what an effort by J.C. Chicano. That's the 2nd hit of the game for Delaware State.
You absolutely love the effort from the shortstop who came into this game, batted that ball down, got it in his glove, and then a pretty good throw over to Georgie at first, but just not enough to get there. But what a play.
Here's Carter Boyd. 0 for 1 with a walk. Was part of the double play hit into by Jaron Sample in the 2nd. Other than that, struck out. He'll bunt it down the 3rd baseline, foul. Final line on Pablo Torres. He goes 1 inning. Throws 22 pitches, strikes out 2, walks 1, didn't give up a hit or a run. Here are the defensive changes for the Wildcats. J.C. Chicano remains at short in place of Almonte. Caleb Scott is on 3rd in place of Michael Lucena. Morrissey delivers outside low. And Chris Watson is in right, replacing Michael Rodriguez. Morrissey stares down the runner at first and comes home with it. This is outside. Oh no, called a strike. That one looked pretty far down and away to Carter Boyd. The count is 1-2. Long look in by Morrissey. Here's a pitch. Chopper foul behind the plate as he barely got a piece of that breaking ball. This is what having all kinds of pitchers in your bullpen will do for you. You go from a guy in Pablo Torres that's throwing 95, 96 to David Morrissey, who's maybe throwing 80, if that, with 13 inches of run on his breaking ball. It's hard to adjust as Carter Boyd strikes out on a slider.
And it's what's going to make this pitching staff for the Wildcats very disruptive when it comes to SWAC play. They maintain 7 out of the 9 in their starting lineup for the start of this season, but they added, and the bulk of their pitching staff, but they also added a lot of key pieces for them, and that's what's going to make them the most dangerous when it gets down to April and May baseball.
Fouled straight back by Jaron Sample, struck out of the 1st and grounded into a double play in the 4th. just 2 hits and 4 total base runners for Delaware State so far as we play with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Wildcats on course for a run rule victory in 7 should we get there. Fouled away again, 0-2. And you can see how far out in front Sample is, having to hold that bat back to try and make contact. The thing about a pitcher like Morrissey is he's only really good for about an inning, maybe an inning and 2/3 or 2 innings if he's really cooking, before the bats of the opposing team start to adjust. High fly ball, shallow center. Sergio Rivera calls off everybody and will make the catch to end the inning. Morrissey gives up a hit, but nothing else. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Wildcats up 13-0 here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. Ruben Zawani leads off for Bethune-Cookman as we go to the 6th, looking to increase their 13-0 lead. New pitcher for Delaware State. It's the sophomore from Middletown, Delaware, James Breen out of St. George High School. Shane Carter goes an inning and 2/3, throws 37 pitches, gives up 3 runs on 3 hits, strikes out 3, walks 1. Zawani pops it foul, straight back out of play. This is James Breen's 3rd appearance of the season. Went 2/3 of an inning against VMI in the season opener. That one is drilled to left field. On the run, and he can't get there his bats. Zawani's gonna hustle towards second. Nobody's covering the bag, so he's in there without a throw. It's a leadoff double by Ruben Zawani. And the Wildcats are in business once again here in the 6th. Excellent piece of hitting by Ruben there. Just went with the inside fastball, pulled it down the line over the head of bats.
Number 9, J.C. Chicano.
And here is Chicano. Chicano struck out his first time up. That was against Carter, the 3rd and final of Carter's strikeout victims. Now he's got Breen to deal with. Breen misses outside, ball hits off the knee of the new catcher, Micah Pelzer, and gets away, allowing Zawani to go to 3rd. Breen against VMI, 2/3 of an innings, 5 runs on 2 hits, walked 2, struck out 1, and hit a batter. And then against Navy, went a full inning. Didn't allow a run or a hit and struck out 1. Zawani on third with nobody out. The pitch to Chicano is high, fly ball to center field. Turner moving over, makes the catch. Zawani tagging. Here's the throw. It's a nice throw, but it pulls Peltzer too far up the line, and Zawani comes in to make it 14-0.
Tried to Chris Watson dupe there on that play. Just did not get the accuracy on it that it needed to have. And Wildcats just continue to add runs here.
And it's always good to see the guys off the bench.
Yeah.
Do the job, get the runs in. Here's Jacob Estrada, who played catcher in game number 1, getting a chance to bat as a pinch hitter in game number 2. But Darrell Lee's night is done. He finishes 3 for 4, 2 doubles, a single, and 3 runs scored. In the first game of the doubleheader, Estrada had 1 hit, 1 walk, and a hit by pitch. He also grounded out to short twice. One out, bases empty after the sac fly. Fastball outside corner for a strike from James Breen. As he strikes out Jacob Estrada. And there's 2 away. Jeter Poyeta will stay in the lineup. He's also scored 3 runs in the game. He's been on all 4 times, been hit by a pitch twice. He's walked once, and he had a single on the infield. Came home in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Watches a breaking ball knee high for strike 1. Delaware State will be down to their last 3 outs at the top of the 7th. They would need 5 runs to keep this game alive. Big swing and a miss, nice curve.
We do have some pitchers warming up in the bullpen, so I don't know if we'll see Morrissey again here in the top of the 7th. I assume not.
I would assume not. I would think that.
But I'm pretty impressed with how he played.
Yeah, no. David Morrissey was very impressive, as was Pablo Torres. And I'm still not over the performance from Michael Benedict.
Yeah.
Just 1 hit and 54 pitches. Struck out 5. And if the game was a little bit closer and Coach Hernandez and company wasn't emptying the bench, I think we would have probably seen Benedict pitch into the 5th inning.
Yeah. I could see that as well.
The 0-2 to Jeter Poyeta. Breen deals, lefty to righty. Bounce to the plate, 1-2. In my opinion, the SWAC baseball tournament, or really any college conference baseball tournament, is the hardest to win of any, and I lump softball in with that as well.
Okay. Because of the format
Breaking
of
ball got him on the elbow pad, and Poyeta will go to first. His 3rd hit by pitch of the game for Jeter Poyeta.
He's been a magnet. But do you not like it because of the format?
No,
what's your beef?
I don't have a beef with it.
Okay.
I just think it
It's
is
hard.
the hardest to win.
Okay.
1, because it's double elimination.
Yeah.
So you can see teams again. They can come back at you after seeing you once already. And 2, you have to play the most games in the shortest amount of time.
Yeah.
The Wildcats took the path of least resistance to the SWAC title last year. There's a first pitch swing and a miss by Jorge Rodriguez. they still played 5 games in 6 days.
That's true.
No other sport except softball, really. Are you going to get that kind of work?
Yeah.
And, to anybody who follows the professional game of baseball, yes, that's nothing, but the rosters are so much smaller, especially pitching-wise.
That's so true.
At the college level. You really got to get performances out of everyone and anyone to win these types of tournaments. I'm talking about things like Yoansel Diaz last year coming out of absolute nowhere to become a superstar late in the season and get 3 saves in those in the tournament.
I feel like postseason sports is just you see what players are truly made of and teams are made of in those moments.
Another similar story, you saw Sergio Rivera go from almost off the team. They were about to cut him for a 3rd catcher. He was the last man on the bus going to Birmingham. And he was the MVP not only of the SWAC tournament, he was also first-team all-regional in Tallahassee as well. Had a ridiculous close to the season.
I love stories like that.
Count is 2-2 on Jorge Rodriguez. And so every time when the baseball tournament comes around, I always look and see, okay, who's going to have the great story this year? Where's it going to come from? Tap back to the screen, count holds 2-2. We're about to see it this coming week with basketball. Who is going to have the big moment if Bethune-Cookman men's basketball is going to go all the way and win their first conference title? Where are those performances going to come from? We think we know. As Jorge Rodriguez now gets hit on the arm guard. Poyeto goes to second, Rodriguez to first. Arterio Morris and Jacoby Hetty obviously steal the headlines.
Right.
But we make it a 20-point night out of Seneca Willoughby or Jordan Johnson all of a sudden because they get hot from 3. And it's good. It might take a performance like that in the semifinal or final to get you over the hump.
It's definitely going to. When it gets into that play in 2 weeks, it's going to. Every single person needs to be at the top of their game. Quentin Hetty needs to be going for every rebound. Ariel Bland needs to be dominant on that end as well. Seneca needs to be his true point guard self and facilitate, but also when he has open shots, take them, be confident in those things, and then everybody else play their roles around them. It's going to take all players to lift that trophy at the end of the week.
This is Caleb Scott, who reached on a fielder's choice his first time up last inning. On a ground ball to second, had the speed to beat out the turn and avoid the double play. He eventually came around to score as he swings and fouls it away. He came around to score on the Chris Watson RBI single. Long hold from Breen, the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the Wildcats are down to potentially their last strike of the ballgame. Unlike last game where the Wildcats flirted with disaster early on, especially on the defense and pitching side, as Scott stays alive and fouls it off. This game they have left no doubt. Michael Benedict was terrific through the first 4 innings, gave up nothing on 1 hit. The Wildcats played at 4 in the 3rd and 6 in the 4th to blow it open. As swing and a miss, that's the end of the inning, and I'm assuming this score will hold. The Wildcats will have scored 14 runs in 3 of the 4 games of this series.
That's
How
wild.
likely is that?
Bats exploded.
Wildcats will try and finish this one off in the bottom of the 7th by run rule when we come back. This is Bethune-Cookman Baseball on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. Well, we are a little delayed getting this 7th inning underway because there appears to be an issue with the mound. Byron Rincones was finishing up his warm-up pitches, alerted the umpires, and now Coach Hernandez is out there. The umpire is out there, and if this day needed anything else, it was something like this. We've already had the turf coming apart near the first base bag in between games.
Crazy. And we played the whole game.
We have. The Wildcats have gone to the big guns to try and close this one out. Byron Rincones is on for his 4th appearance of the season. He's got a 4.26 ERA. Had one rough outing against Yale where he gave up 3 runs on 5 hits in 3 innings there, but he still struck out 5 in that appearance. Then went an inning and a third against South Florida on Tuesday night. Gave up nothing in an inning and a third. No runs on 1 hit. Didn't strike out anybody, didn't walk anybody. He actually picked up the win in that contest on Tuesday, and he's out here to close this things out against Delaware State with the Wildcats up 14-0. And as we go through this 7th inning, first I wanted to tell you that Grambling State, even though in the 6th inning against Northeastern they loaded the bases with 1 out, they didn't score.
Oh.
Northeastern has now made it 5-0.
Keep tacking them on.
But as we go through this 7th inning, Brandon Boyd is pinch hitting for Delaware State. First pitch, a fastball strike. I want to go through some of the SWAC team statistics in baseball through the first 10 or so games of the season, because it is very telling. The Wildcats are the best offensive team in the SWAC. They're hitting .312 as a unit. That one chopped towards second. Fielding on 2 hops is Poyeto. He underarms to first for 1 away. Wildcats are the 2nd best pitching staff by ERA in the conference, behind Alabama State's .356. Wildcats have a .408 staff ERA. And are 3rd in the league in strikeouts behind Southern and Jackson State. In foul territory down the first base side, that'll get over the wall. This is Justin Batts. The Wildcats have the most hits of anybody in the conference, the most doubles by anybody in the conference by 11. Have scored the most runs by 13.
I'm sure this weekend just adds on to that for sure.
Yes, and this weekend is the most egregious example, of course. But you got to remember that a lot of these SWAC schools, the bulk of their non-conference games are against other SWAC schools.
Yeah.
You know, Andre Dawson Classic, the Cactus Jack Classic out in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take level of competition into account. I mean, there's a swing and a miss. 2 outs in the inning as down goes Batts. Strikeout for Rincones as Brandon Timmons is going to be the last man up for Delaware State. You got to take into account, right? The Wildcats have played Yale, who's a potential tournament team this year. Bradley, who's going to fight in the Missouri Valley. A midweek against USF, which they won. A midweek against FIU, which they didn't. You got to take strength of schedule into account, even with a series like this, because the majority of the non-conference for other SWAC schools is series like this.
Yeah.
And they're still up there near the top of the conference in most statistical categories. Wildcats 1 out away from a 4-game sweep. That one just outside on a breaking ball from Rincones. Brendan Timmons is 0 for 2. Rounded out to first base and struck out in his 2 plate appearances today. Fastball inside. You can hear Rincones get angry with himself as he misses his spot there as the count is 2-2. Wildcats still 1 strike away. Rincones rocks and fires. Strike called outside corner. That is only strike 2. The count is full. Upstairs, ball 4, and we will continue for at least one more batter. Rincones lets Timmons get away from him. That's only the 5th base runner of the game for Delaware State.
Wow. Rincones wanted to end it there. Got mad at himself a few pitches before. Talk about a guy with professional aspirations. He's another one that you should add to that list.
Bouncer towards third. Charging is Scott. Throws the reach by Rodriguez, and this one belongs to the maroon and gold.
And that's the ball game. Ladies and gentlemen,
The Wildcats combine to pitch a 2-hit shutout with only 5 base runners here in the 4th game of the series. Benedict, Torres, Morrissey, and Rincones, along with some stellar defense behind him, support the Bats getting 14 runs for the 3rd time in 4 games. And the Wildcats sweep Delaware State. They move to 10-3 on the season.
Yeah, they just completed the sweep. They were looking for their first series sweep of the season, and they finally got it here against Delaware State. And, you know, history between these schools, but what a decisive way for Bethune-Cookman to get their first sweep of the season. Just explosive bats, great defense, and just the pitching was superb for the Wildcats in a weekend where it can be a little bit confusing. You have rain delays, you're in and you're out of games, you're trying to figure out when you're going to play and when you're not going to play, and they didn't let that bother them at all. They just finished to the very end.
Just tabling the final numbers as we'll wait for Coach Hernandez to get up here as well and talk to us here on the CatEye Network post-game show. Delaware State, no runs on 2 hits, committed 4 errors and left 4 on base. Bethune-Cookman, 14 runs on 13 hits, committed no errors, crucially, and left 9 on base. Your winning pitcher is Michael Benedict. And Nathan Vidmar gets saddled with the loss. There was no save. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 20 minutes. As the game started at 7:10 and ended at 9:30. And this was all Wildcats from the jump. Both teams went scoreless through the first 2 innings, and the Wildcats jumped on it. 4 in the 3rd, 6 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th to get 14 total runs. As we are holding on to talk to Coach Johnny Hernandez post-game. As the Wildcats get a 4-game sweep of Delaware State. 2 games in dominant fashion and 2 games where Delaware State made it interesting. Game 1 was split between Friday and Saturday after a rain delay. Wildcats won that one 14-7 after jumping out to an early lead and seeing Delaware State come back at them. Then in Game 2, the second of the doubleheader yesterday, the Wildcats won 15-0 outside of after a 6-run 4th and a 4-run 5th. So something similar to what happened today with a 4-run 4th and a 4-run 3rd and a 6-run 4th to really blow the game open. Also had 13 hits in that contest. Then the first game today was a wild one as Delaware State jumped on some poor pitching and defense to start the game for the Wildcats. They jumped out with 5 runs early, 5 runs through 4. The Wildcats responded to tie the game in the 4th. Then Delaware State took the lead in the 6th, and the Wildcats played it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 6th to pull away for good. They would end up winning that one 14-8. So the Wildcats score 14 runs in 3 of the 4 games in this series, and then 15 runs in the second game yesterday. So the Bats came out to play this weekend. Obviously things to work on the pitching and defense side, but the Wildcats take a 4-game sweep of Delaware State. They moved to 9-3 overall. I did say 10-3. I miscounted. They're 9-3 overall. Their 3 losses to FIU, Bradley, and Yale. And they will go into Wednesday night's game at Miami in Coral Gables with a lot of confidence after sweeping Delaware State this weekend. We are still waiting on Coach Johnny Hernandez to make an appearance. I'll go through the final scores from SWAC baseball today one more time for you while we're waiting on Johnny to get up here. The one game still going on, Northeastern 5, Grambling State nothing. That game is in the top of the 8th in Louisiana. Alabama A&M beat UIC at a neutral site game in Cookeville, Tennessee, 5-4. New Mexico State beat Prairie View A&M 16-1 in New Mexico. Jackson State came back to beat UNC Asheville 6-5. Florida A&M defeated Central Connecticut State, also out of the NEC, 9-4. Alabama State lost to Valparaiso at home 3-1. Morehead State beat Southern on the road 8-7. Arkansas State beat Arkansas Pine Bluff 7-2. Texas Southern pounced all over Texas A&M at Corpus Christi 16-4. Mississippi Valley State beat Alcorn State 15-7. Bethune-Cookman beat Delaware State 14-8 and 14-0. And of course, Grambling State and Northeastern still going on as we play deep into the Sunday night here in SWAC baseball. But the Wildcats get the win, they get the 4-game sweep, and now here on the CatEye Network post-game show, I'm joined by Coach Johnny Hernandez. Coach, let's go back to the first game today, the doubleheader. Not the prettiest game, but the Bats got it done. You ended up winning that one 14-8. It was a tough start for Tanner Bocabello. Didn't have much command. The walks, the defensive miscues hurt you early in that one, but you were able to recover.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully we were able to recover, and that's what, we talked to the team post-game, right? It doesn't matter who you play. If, you don't play clean defense and, if you walk guys, team's going to take advantage. It doesn't matter who you play. So, just looking forward to, a good week of practice as we head into, obviously, Miami Wednesday and Florida Gulf Coast this weekend.
Then the second game, the team must have taken that to heart because a combined 2-hitter from the pitchers didn't commit an error on defense, only 5 base runners the whole game. What was the message in between games, aside from you got to be better defensively?
I mean, just finish. Mike, we've had 2 weeks in a row where we've had opportunities to finish, weekend, and we've fallen short because we keep shooting ourselves in the foot. So, again, I think Michael Benedict threw, extremely well. Took him out early just because when the score was getting a little out of hand, just wanted to make sure we get a couple of guys in there. But again, you play clean defense, things, and you don't walk guys, good things are going to happen. So, they took that message to heart, and they finally, we finally finished a weekend. I mean, 4 games, 4-game sweep, that's 5 in a row. It doesn't matter who you play, that's impressive in its own right. So just looking forward to another really good day of practice on Tuesday.
You've had to shuffle the lineup around quite a bit due to some injuries early on in the season. We've seen now Michael Lucena playing third and Michael Rodriguez in right field and a couple of other switches besides Fernandez coming in to play catcher as well. How does that change how you build your lineups day to day?
I think it does, and I think, when we recruited Lucena, obviously we know he's, what he can do behind the plate, but he's very versatile. He can play any infield position, that's needed, even in the outfield some. I think that speaks to the depth of our lineup. We're kind of dealing with some injuries right now on the position player side. I mean, there's no secret, right? We're running short, and we're thin. But, Mike, I mean, if there's anything you know about us, I mean, that's not going to be an excuse, right? We're going to give you know, our players an opportunity to succeed. They're going to get opportunities to showcase what they can do, and so far they've done that. So, you know, as far as like changing lineups, it's just, you know, giving guys opportunities and what we feel is going to put them in the best position to succeed.
The bats came out this weekend. I mean, you scored double-digit runs every time, 3 times 14, and on a 15-runner last night. And does this series kind of set you up for SWAC play more so that you're seeing the kind of arms you're going to see deep into a SWAC run, or does this series not matter because it's now behind you?
I think it's twofold, right? It can, but I mean, there's no question about it. I think the pitching is better, you know, in the SWAC than what we saw this weekend, right? I think anybody that saw this series understands that, knows that if they do watch SWAC baseball. But again, it's past us. You know, enjoy this one. Tomorrow, wake up. We're still 0-0, trying to get, you know, 1-0 on Wednesday.
Miami this week is going to be a little bit of a wake-up call for you. You're going down to Coral Gables, first true road game on the season. And what are your expectations coming up on Wednesday? Just
playing hard and competing. You know, again, we have an opportunity to go down to Miami, where a bunch of our guys are from, play in front of the, you know, family and friends, myself included, and, you know, Coach Cartaya as well. You know, we'll have some family and friends out there. And again, I just want our guys to get 1% better. You know, the opportunity is there. Forget about that they're top 25 ranked and we're going down there. Who cares, man? Like, we're worried about us and how we can put our players in a position to succeed, 1, and 2, win, lose, or draw, we have to get better. We got to continue to raise the bar for our program, and, you know, that's what, honestly, we're really looking forward to.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Congrats on the sweep, and we'll see you next weekend.
You got it. Hail Wildcats.
Once again, your final line score here in game number 2. Bethune-Cookman 14 runs on 13 hits, no errors, and 9 left on. Delaware State, no runs on 2 hits, 4 errors, and they left 4 on base. The winning pitcher, Michael Benedict. The losing pitcher is Nathan Vidmar. No save. Recorded. The time of the ballgame was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. For Jade Burkett, producer, Lee, and our entire Wildcat crew out here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark, thank you so much for sticking with us through a long doubleheader and a long 4-game series here this weekend. We will see you on Thursday for Wildcat basketball in the season finale at Florida A&M, and then back here at the Jack on Friday against Florida Gulf Coast. Until then, my name is Michael Torino. We'll see you then. Hail Wildcats.